Hello there, all my lovely friends, all my YouTube peeps. How is it going today? Hope everybody's doing alright. I've had a pretty interesting week. I've been doing some spring cleaning and organizing some stuff around the house that I haven't looked at in many years. I've lived here for about 17 years almost this year. So it's a long time to live in one house, and the longest I've ever lived in one house. And as a carpenter, and I have all these hobbies, certain, little pieces of wood start to accumulate. Oh, I can use these later. I started working on a marimba and making some instruments. I made a bass guitar body, then I made an acoustic guitar frame, and I never finished any of it, and it's all just sitting around. So anyhow, been going through, and I've been finding some old stuff and organizing my records, and actually finally put all my records in boxes. There's like 15 boxes, and during this process I've been doing a lot of thinking about organization in the mind and mind over matter kind of mentality that, from the time I was young, I was always taught that life is what you make it, and that what you think is what you are. It's just as important as what you eat. And that's another important thing I wanted to talk about, which is, of course, that we're not just ourselves as human beings. We are loads of bacteria and viruses, a lot of different processes. In fact, I was going to make a video about that. I have some notes taken about the essentials of viruses and bacteria and microbes, how they're used by the body. And it's important to my discussion here because my main point here is about how, and a question that I'm asking is why we can never do the things that we want to do. Rather, I should say, why can we never get our minds to work the way our bodies want them to work? One day you might have a lot of energy and no motivation. Another day you might have a lot of motivation, but you can't work because maybe your back hurts or something else is wrong. There's a lot of things that keep us from doing the things that we'd like to do, but often it's just a matter of it just doesn't feel like the right time. And for people, for example, those of us who work for ourselves, as I was talking with someone earlier about this, it can be difficult to work for yourself because you have to force yourself to get up and go to work and to do, the daily grind, if you will. And but it also gives you the flexibility, if you just aren't feeling it at the moment, to not work. However, if you work, not always, of course, but if you work for somebody else, there's benefits, and then there's drawbacks, of course. And one of the benefits is that for me, I like to be directed and just be told what to do, then go home and have it all done. But I'm also, then you have to work, let you wake up and you don't feel it that day, you can't just put it off for later. And I use work because it takes up so much of our lives. And I should use sleep as another example because it takes up 1/3 of our lives, something that's completely overlooked so often in our behavior. If we've got kids screaming and then we have work in the morning and the kids won't go to bed and we don't get enough sleep, then that affects our motivation, it zaps our energy, and it gives us kind of I've always got enough sleep. It's something that I'm glad for and I'm grateful for. But there have been times in my life where I've been slightly deprived, and you will, before you even realize it, you'll just be nodding off in the daytime. I don't take day naps. I mean, some people are nap prone, even if they get enough sleep, but often if you nap a lot, it's because you need more sleep. So anyhow, you can also put your minds on these other sleep schedules, different types, but that's another discussion altogether. Why is it that, sometimes, for example, I have these ideas of things I want to do in life, and they're constantly changing as I find new things, new exciting things. I have maybe a hobby here and a hobby there, and then I find that there's these rotations of hobbies, and then there's seasonal hobbies. Some things are better done in the summer, and of course you can only do certain things at certain times of the year, like mushroom collecting, things like that. So you get yourself on these schedules and these routines of things that we do. And then if your mind's not working or your body's not working and not up to the task of what you want to do, it can be very frustrating. Sometimes it's just as simple as getting motivation to do it, but a lot of the time for things like what I want to do with videos, I've been sitting here thinking, what can I do with my channel to improve it? Should I make a separate channel or use one of my other channels for like a science-based thing, and I'd love to do editing, and I've been looking up different programs for, you know, editing and making different different types of animations. Then I think, do I want to do that? Is that even what I want to do? Or do I want to have like maybe where I draw on a whiteboard next to myself, or do I even want to be in the frame at all? And then I realized, well, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not giving myself enough credit. I've been making YouTube videos for so long now that I don't really, sometimes I don't realize how comfortable I feel with the camera. And that's such a benefit for me because I like to present things. So I was going to ask in a separate video, but I suppose I'll do it here, to all of my subscribers, if you have any input on what you think that it would make it a better channel, you know, maybe I'll just take a poll, you know, on the little poll option. But no, you know, everybody has different interests. It's not about me really catering to just everyone else's interests as much as, I mean, because that's part of it. But also, I don't know what to do. Like, I can't choose or decide. My brain's not functioning that way. It's not like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to animate and I'm going to, you know, put in some, you know, I can't even vocalize what I'm saying just talking about it. But the one thing that's consistent is that I'm always making videos. That came to mind because I was thinking about how, you know, sometimes I want to make a video and I just can't do it. Like, I have all these ideas in my head, but I just don't feel it. I don't feel like talking to the camera. Or maybe my brain's just tired, you know, and I just don't feel like I could be coherent, put the words together. And then other times I feel like I'm totally ready, and I'll make a very, very detailed video, and then I'll think, God, that was a bunch of nonsense. But, you know, that's just how we are. We judge ourselves. We're always, you know, criticizing ourselves. So I guess I'll just leave it at that. It's already gotten kind of a long rambling video, but mostly it was just kind of posing the question of how do we, you know, how do we overcome these times where we want to do something but we're unable to because our frustrating brains or bodies won't work for us. And the more ailments we have, the more the physical side will be a problem. But anyway, hope everybody's doing well today. And being human's hard, so that's why we talk about it. That's why I make these videos about random subjects. It's some of them don't really have any way to describe them. Anyhow, be well.